Hey guys, welcome back to another The Unofficial A&R video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the highly anticipated Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage. This album follows up from the heavily criticized dance album Honestly Nevermind, which Drake released earlier this year, as well as the equally criticized Certified Lover Boy, which Drake released last year. Whereas for 21 Savage, this album follows up from his last collaboration project, Savage Mode 2 with Metro Boomin, released 2 years ago. I think with regards to Drake, this album was anticipated to be a sort of redemption arc for him. After having two heavily criticized albums in a row, he probably felt like he had more to prove than 21 Savage, especially since it's Drake's third drop in just over a year. It was probably a very smart idea for Drake to release a collab album with 21 Savage, especially following the reception of Jimmy Cook's, the only hip-hop song on Honestly Nevermind, and the only song from that album which many people deemed respectable. So why not have a whole album with the addition of 21 Savage, especially if people are fond of the chemistry. Anyway, let's get right into it. The album starts off with Rich Flex. For me, the highlight of this song is the beginning. It's a nice hype intro song. There's a nice little Megan Thee Stallion Savage interpolation here. Some interesting lyrics such as "I know you're on your period, babe, can you suck it? Thank you, 21 Savage." Drake's flow from 2 minutes and 36 seconds to 3 minutes is one of the high points of this album. It's the perfect amount of time to do that flow for. Nice cadence. I think it's a solid intro. Major distribution starts off with Drake singing, gives a bit of a Take Care vibe with the melancholy piano keys. Despite it being very random, I actually like the beat switch here and how simple the beat switch is. The chorus is catchy. 21 Savage's One Direction bars stand out. Harry Styles' numbers, it's a robbery. My niggas go insane to catch a body. In general, it's a nice continuation of hype from the intro. On BS, this is the catchiest hook on the project. Some lines I like from this include 21 Savage's "fuck the nosebleeds, baby come sit on this wood." This song has a nice divide between the two. I feel like 21 Savage and Drake bounce off each other very well, picking up lines after each other. Not too sure what that talkative outro is all about. It's kinda unnecessary, but clearly they decided it needed to be on there for whatever reason. This is also the song which marks the end of the even divide of verses between 21 Savage and Drake, because then we have Back Outside Boys, which is strictly Drake. This song is also the first song we hear from the album which incorporates what I can only regard as potentially obviously sneak dissing other artists. She's a 10 trying to rap, it's good on mute. For some reason the internet seems to believe this is about Ice Spice. Even Ice Spice said "at least I'm still a 10, which I'm not too sure if she actually believes that the lyric is about her or if she's just riding the wave of potentially getting some clout. I have no idea. But I really don't understand why we seem to believe that this is about Ice Spice. There's a lot of girls in the rap game who are pretty but can't rap. But hey, if the internet says it, then I guess it must be true. At first I thought the Lil Baby was going to be a sneak feature on this song because there's a lot of Lil Baby-esque ad-libs on this song. But turns out it's actually Lil Yachty. It's an interesting surprise. The next song is Privileged Rappers. 21 Savage's verse is the best thing about this song. I personally think he washes Drake here. I'm also a big fan of the instrumental. I don't really have much to say about this song besides, did Drake really say purr? Spin About You definitely is one for the ladies. I think it's a decent love song, strong verses from both 21 and Drake. Drake's chorus is very prominent and memorable, and it wasn't until I started listening to this song that I realized that Drake actually has a lot of quote-unquote sassy lyrics on this album. When talking about his love interest's friends, Drake says the following: "You know how it goes when they can't get a reservation up in Carbone. They're gonna tell you it's a chill night, tell you how they'd rather stay at home. Jealous assholes." God damn. Hours in Silence. Now, this is the first song in which I actually start to have less favorable opinions. It starts off very strong. Smooth intro from Drake as usual. Even his rap in the beginning flows very well with the beat. I love the fact that we have 21 Savage singing the hook on this. It's nice to hear in my opinion because we're so used to deep, dark Jason Voorhees type music from 21 Savage. This provides a nice contrast to what we typically hear from him. My biggest criticism about this song, however, is that it's too long, and it's too long for no reason. It feels like it goes on forever. And it doesn't continue the high that it started with. There's a massive dip in energy when Drake slows the song down, which is devastating. I started getting bored of Drake rambling at the end. It's just a shame because this song has so much potential to be a great hip-hop love song, and you really start to understand how long 4 minutes lasts for when you listen to the end of this track. I was vibing up until about 2 minutes away from the end of the song, and then I decided, actually, I don't have all day to listen to this song. Let me listen to the next song, which is Treacherous Twins. At first, I thought this song was the most forgettable song on the album, but somehow it's managed to sneak up on me, and I found myself singing it as I go about my day, even though I don't feel like I listen to it that much. You my treacherous little twin, and you know that we like teen. There's definitely more exciting cuts from this project though, but this song definitely has potential to grow on you if you're not immediately a fan. Circo Loco. Probably the most controversial song on this album, largely due to a line by Drake which has divided the internet. This bitch lying about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. Drake is basically using a double entendre, generally referring to girls who lie about getting their ass done, but they still look as good as a horse, and the other clear meaning, which involves the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, allegedly by Tory Lanez. This case has been going on for what feels like an eternity. Megan Thee Stallion says Tory shot her, Tory says he didn't do it. It's a classic whodunit case. Some people on the internet are saying Drake didn't mean it this way, and others are like, the lyrics are a little bit too ironic for it to not be about her. I personally don't think Drake is stupid. I think he knows exactly what he was doing when he said that, and this is not the first time that he's inserted himself in drama which has nothing to do with him. I feel like that line has completely eclipsed the rest of the song, which is a shame because by the time that he says that lyric, we're only 30 seconds in. And Circo Loco is one of my favorite songs from this project. Love the Daft Punk One More Time sample. Their verses are sharp, Drake's outro is nicely sung, the beat in the outro is the icing on top of the cake for me. It's generally a very good song, but Drake knew that it was going to get traction for all the wrong reasons, and it definitely would have been better if he just completely left that bar out. Travis Scott washed everyone on Pussy in Millions. I feel like it would have been nice for them to not credit Travis on the song, and then when everybody heard the song for the first time, be surprised that Travis Scott was the feature. Scott shows that he's still him on this track, and this song will go absolutely crazy at concerts and festivals, especially with that highly memorable and relatable lyric from Drake. They say more money, more problems. Bring on the motherfucking problems. Broke Boys is another song which I favor highly. It's very similar to On BS in the sense that Drake and Savage equally do their thing on this song. Their musical chemistry is prominent here, with 21 Savage rapping and Drake continuing his lines. The beat switch is just as good as the one on Major Distribution. For some reason, this beat switch reminds me of Look Alive by Blockboy JB with Drake. Did it give anybody else that vibe? I don't know, it just gave me that vibe. Middle of the Ocean. This is one of my favorite songs on this album. It's very reminiscent of Pound Cake, Paris Morton Music 2. Drake is painting a very luxurious picture of his life, comparing it with when he first started and how he is living now. It's got a bit of a Jay-Z essence to it. I think the only thing that could potentially be missing from this song is a Rick Ross feature, but at the same time, it's not necessary really because Drake turns this one out on his own. One thing that I did notice on this song was the very obvious dig at Serena Williams' husband, Alex Ohanian, in which Drake calls him a groupie. I really have no idea where that dig came from. Drake is obviously harboring some sort of resentment at the fact that Serena is with Alex. It seemed like a very personal bar. Who knows, maybe there's some sort of love triangle situation going on. I have no clue, but it was really random. And it's weird because it feels like Drake and Serena dated so long ago, which just adds to the randomness. Regardless, this is one of the standout tracks for me. John Botron, Shit Poppin'. Interesting. This song has a nice bounce to it, but unfortunately, I don't know what Drake is talking about on this song. It's almost like hype gibberish. It definitely has Young Thug influence. It's just inoffensive. It's in the middle, possibly even a filler track. More M's. I want to start off by saying this is a great beat by Metro Boomin. It reminds me very much of the collaboration album between 21 Savage and Offset in 2017, Without Warning. It's also one of the very few songs on this album where where the spotlight focuses heavily on 21 Savage in comparison to other songs. Very muddy, villainous production, which is obviously 21 Savage's forte. Baptize a nigga, send him home in a blanket. Well, typical 21. Definitely one of the better cuts from this project. 3 AM on Glenwood. This is the only solo song of 21 Savage. It's very introspective. 21 Savage speaks about his friends who have passed away and his almost lonely progression to the top. I find this song quite captivating and real. I think based off of the title of the song, it might have been typical to expect Drake to be the one rapping, seeming as he has so many songs with titles which are similar to this, but it's refreshing to hear 21 by himself in the context of this project and have his moment in isolation. And finally, the outro, I guess it's Fuck Me. A solemn melody from Drake about a relationship on the edge. It's kind of typical R&B Drake, but it goes against the title of the album because it's supposed to be her loss, but the sadness of this song feels more like it's his loss. Because even though Drake spends the entire album and even parts of this song bragging about his lifestyle, he still manages to end the project with the whole I miss my girl situation. I understand that a lot of Drake fans will love this song because of how Drake it is, but me personally, I feel like it's slightly tired and it's another dime a dozen song from Drake. I feel like Her Loss deserved a better outro and definitely deserved an outro with both 21 Savage and Drake, just to finish the album the way that it started. In conclusion, I feel like this is generally a solid project from both of them. I feel like Drake probably felt as though he had something to prove on this album following the terrible reviews that he received on his previous project, Honestly Nevermind. A lot of people were saying that Honestly Nevermind marked the decline of Drake's career. Personally, I don't think that album marked the end of Drake's career. I just think his core audience didn't like the fact that he was releasing techno music, so they automatically assumed that Drake was all of a sudden trash, which is not true. I do, however, feel that there is a slight lack of growth from Drake on this project, in the sense that because of the bad reception to his previous album, he decided to keep himself in comfortable pockets where he knows he'll get a positive reaction from his fans. Drake's fans liked what Drake rapped about at the age of 24, and so Drake is trying to rap about the same stuff 12 years later. Drake continues to rap about girls in a very schoolboyish, immature manner, taking digs at them and their boyfriends, which is very similar to how he used to rap when he was 24, 25, or 26, even if these slightly childish incidents may not be his reality as a 36-year-old man. I don't think that this is 21 Savage's best collab album. I still firmly stand by Without Warning being his best collab album, and also I feel like because Drake was trying to prove that he still got it, Drake took a lot more creative control on this album and took a lot of shine away from 21 Savage, who in my opinion is an artist who is only getting better as the years go on in terms of rapping and now even singing. There were a few unnecessary bars here and there, quite a few unnecessary digs at people too. Some songs in this album were very typical Drake, for example the very long and drawn out Hours in Silence. Nonetheless, there aren't really any songs on this project which are trash, which is good. Maybe only 1 or 2 songs are forgettable. I did expect to see a little bit more chemistry between 21 Savage and Drake, like I evidently heard on BS and Broke Boys. But no, all in all, this album is good. It has a lot of replay value, nice beat selection, plenty of wordplay and puns if you will, and shows that 21 Savage and Drake are a great musical pairing. I would love to hear them make more songs together because this album is very decent and definitely met my expectations. I feel like the highs were very high, but the lows were kind of ugh. Despite some of the setbacks of this project, I'd definitely be listening to this again because it's a formula that works, and I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's enough about me. Let me hear about you. Did you enjoy this album? Was it underwhelming? Did you expect more from it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on there at @the unofficial A&R. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.